that was rude.
Yeah, probably. I know, it's the worst. I'm trying to get used to it because I really have started to really need to wear them. And when I'm live streaming and doing things like that, I'm just like, okay, I can't see. And I have a big monitor so I can see the peeps, but then I can't read anything that I'm doing. So I'm always like, ah.
So true. The aging game. Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so here we are. We are live. Woo! Yay, I'm so excited. I am so excited to have my dear friend Karen on Radiant Life Conversations today. Karen and I met through Seattle Life Coach training when we were getting our coaching certification. And girlfriend, it has been 4 years.
I know it. I know it. It's just flown by like that too. It's crazy.
I know. I know. It's bonkers. So let's kick this off. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, what you'd like us to know about you? What are you up to in the world right now?
Oh my gosh, there's so much. How much time do we have? Literally, you know how I roll. What do I want? Let's go slow. So what about me? Well, my name's Karen. And I currently own and operate a martial arts school in Snoqualmie, Washington, which I love. 250 littles. Come on. Well, they're not all little. Some of them are teens, but we love them all. I started coaching no, let's put it this way. I started coaching when I was born. I feel like really I've been coaching my whole life, but I thought I needed to get a formal certification 4 years ago. So I did that to somehow justify what I already do so naturally in the way that I show up in the world. And I don't know that served me that well in the sense that I'm still doing the same thing I was always doing. I just have a piece of paper that says that I guess what I'm okay to do that now. I don't know. It's funny. It's funny. So since you and I met, Stephanie, things have changed quite a bit. You get these ideas of how you want to go serve in the world and the people you want to serve. And, life has its own ideas, own plans for you. So
yeah. So how has the vision that you had 4 years ago to the execution you are living now changed?
Well, my original idea was that I wanted to coach primarily women, either coming out of trauma, or I really just wanted to coach women to feel free. And that isn't, in my mind, that didn't serve me well because it wasn't enough of a distinction of what I really want to do. And I kept focusing on developing my coaching practice around women and young women and blah, blah. Mm-hmm. But no, God has always pulled me back to the dojo. So now I do a ton of work with my teen girls, and I call it Girl Rising. And it's a I know, right? Girl Rising. Yes. I might take that out to my adult clients too, because they seem to like that too. They're like, we're still girls. I'm like, we are still little girls inside. I mean, many of us still can identify with just that feeling of being just that girl, that had ideas about her life that may not have come to fruition yet, which is what we're all striving to achieve. So I do spend a lot of time right now working with teen girls and helping them really find that warrior spirit inside. A lot of the girls I deal with are inside the martial arts family. So they're already pursuing some of that in the physical sense. Right. I underestimated how much teen girls, and even now my tween parents are like, we want to do this too. So I'm working on that. But how much they really just need someone to say, you can be big. Yeah. Your life can be big, and you do not have to apologize for wanting to be big.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. That's what I love it.
Oh my gosh, Girl Rising. I love that.
I know it.
So in love with that.
I know it. I know. I can't. It's not what I expected. And I fight it all the time. Even now, I'm like, no, I want to go work with those women. There's women, but the women were once girls. And so I'm happy to work with any woman that falls, into my lap or just finds their way to me, because I don't actually do a lot of marketing. You don't see on social media what I really do. It just kind of comes
Yeah.
the way it's intended to. But the girls, I'm like, I can really create a movement around this idea of girl rising, because these young women, and it has nothing to do with politics. It has nothing to do with religion, because I have all faith systems in there, all political belief systems. A lot of that's come from their own families. They're not old enough to really start to come up with their own ideas of who they want to be. And I'm not trying to get in the middle of that, but just putting all those different kind of things, the ways of looking at the world together in a room of young women, and then realizing when they start to realize that they all have the common insecurities and things, oh man, it's the best. This is where being older, you get to say, oh, it's such valuable wisdom for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love that so much. The best thing that I heard out of all of that is that God shifted things for you.
Always.
And showed you a bigger dream than you could have dreamed for yourself.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, he's laughing. I can feel him right now. I'm like, I get it. Yeah. Yeah, like he does that to me all the time. Yeah,
he likes LOL.
Yeah. Yeah, he likes to drive. Well, and it's obvious. To me, it's like, it's pretty obvious that I should have focused on stuff like that. But I didn't really realize, especially like my black belt girls, they are really strong young women already. And for them to it started because their parents started coming to me and asking me if I would coach their daughters on confidence, empowerment, that kind of thing. And I was like, these girls already, what are you talking about? These girls are already black belts. They're already highly achieved young women. Academically, they're strong. They're strong humans in the sense that they're kind and generous and compassionate. They're insecure? Like, what? Like, I didn't even dawn on me that they may have, all those things still going on.
Yeah.
It was like, well, no kidding. They're, 16.
Right.
There's a lot going on.
So much.
Yeah.
Just talk about the teenage years for a second, because holy shit.
I know.
I think back on my teenage years, and there is not, obviously I was going through a bunch of trauma too, but there is not enough money or material wealth on this planet that could send me back to my teenage years.
No, I know. I know. Unless you went back with the knowledge you have.
Well, that would help.
Well, I look back at some of the things that held me back as a young woman, right? Or things that I agonized over, and they are just so pointless.
Yeah.
But they were so real and true to me then. And I think that that's the gift that I can bring to the women that I serve and these young women I serve, is that you're allowed to have the strength of conviction that is your belief system. It is, and it is, and it is until it isn't.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think was the core of your biggest identity crisis as a teenager?
That had a big butt. No, I have two that I always say. Isn't that funny? I'm in this coaching. I have some coaching peers, and I had to do this whole thing. And they're like, what is the one thing you want us to know about your teenage years that you wish didn't affect you? I was like, I always thought I had a big butt. And people laugh and think that's funny. But listen, I wouldn't go to the beach. I didn't like to do this, that, or the other. There are a lot of things I missed out on because I thought my butt was big. Yep. And you know what? My personality was equally big. So it didn't even really matter. And that really is probably what my biggest identity thing was. I was told from the time I was very young by well-intentioned people that my voice is loud.
Yep.
I'm like a little tornado. I'm just a big tornado. And my personality needs to kind of come down to accommodate like the people in the room. I need to be calmer, less energetic, quieter. And inside my head wants to blow off the whole time because I'm just like, what? That's just not me. And so when I was young, I was fully expressed.
Mm-hmm.
I was always the captain of every sporting team and the most inspirational, which I never got because I never tried to be inspirational to anybody. I just me, I guess. I don't know. But I know that I could have probably just achieved a lot more things that I wanted to achieve if I'd had more acceptance of the fact that it's okay to just be big spirited.
Yeah. I can totally relate to that, because I think
Yeah.
that's so similar to my journey with my upbringing too. Just, you're so loud, you're so overzealous, just sit down and shut up.
No,
And and I was the same way. I mean, it's funny because I've reconnected with some of the girls that I went to high school with recently.
yeah.
And a lot of them didn't know what was going on with me at the time, right? I didn't
Mhm.
tell anybody, but they've all like read my Facebook posts and kind of gotten to know my journey a little bit and my story a little bit. And they're like, I had no idea that was going on with you. And the whole time you're just like this ray of sunshine in our
I
lives. And you're
know.
like, and I was like, I didn't know I was doing that.
I know it.
So crazy.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't feel like I had this. I don't know that I knowingly had any identity crisis when I was a teenager. Like, I never really, I thought my life was fine. I always felt kind of put in a box in a way,
Mhm.
and I had lots of ways of rationalizing that. I guess, I don't know. But looking back, it's like, oh my gosh, it's so insignificant, really, at the end of the day. Like, was it okay to just be my personality? Was it? I don't, no one ever told me that it was okay.
Yeah.
No
And
one ever said, just be you.
right.
Yeah.
And
They
I
said, be this.
Oh, without a doubt. Yes,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
Every
Yeah.
time. Like, here's the box that you fit in, so you need to get back in that box.
Because I'm comfortable when you're there.
Yes, because I'm comfortable when you're there. And how
Yeah.
often we still walk around the world with family members or coworkers or our children, even acquaintances, friends that are more comfortable when you're inside a certain kind of box.
I know. I have a thing I say now, which is just like, I know that this makes you uncomfortable, whatever it is that, and I have empathy for you. And I'm
Yeah.
not being condescending. I have empathy for you, but I'm
Yes.
still me over here. I don't know. God made me this way. You know
I
what to
love
tell
that.
you. I always feel like I'm like, but I have a good heart.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm doing it. I have a good heart, and I don't even do that anymore. I don't even say that. When people are uncomfortable, I'm like, I know this makes you uncomfortable. I get it.
Yep.
I always just say that's one way of looking at it. Didn't Richard say that? I think he was the first one I learned that from. I was like, that's one way to look at it. I do that all the time. And you just be quiet. People are like, what?
Or that's a thought.
Yeah, that's a thought. That's right. I forgot about that one. That's so good. That's a thought.
I use that one all the time with my kids.
Yeah. Or it's worth consideration. That's the one I use all the time
Mhm.
with my team. I'm always like, well, that's worth some consideration. And they're
Mhm.
like, yeah, but is it yes or no? I'm like, it's worth some consideration. And I just sit in that. Yeah. I know, it's fun.
I love that.
No.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I definitely, I wonder sometimes, like, if he were a fly on the wall, right? And
Yeah.
listen to some of the things that we say now that we
Yeah.
didn't say before class.
He'd be so proud.
He
He would
really
be. He'd be
would.
like, wow, just some shit. Yeah. But isn't that what we try to do? Like, you try to impart. I see people that I work with, and even the girls will say some little metaphor or something will come out of their mouth, and I'm like, oh, like I think I might have given that to them.
Yep.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So our son Taylor, who's currently stationed in Italy, he has a long distance relationship with his girlfriend. She's still here in Washington State. And so they're kind of going through some growing pains being so far apart. And it's
Mm-hmm.
very interesting because he'll call me when she's struggling with something and he's like, Mom, could you just reach out and support her? And sure, no problem, I'll reach out, I'll support her. And then he'll be like, well, this is what I told her, and it'll be some variation of something that I've said to him many times in the past.
Yeah, it's great.
It is. I'm like, yeah, but she doesn't want to hear it from you.
Yeah, it's
So
true. She wants to hear it from. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why he calls me. He's like, Mom, can you call her?
Yeah, because you're a voice that's more familiar to her for sure. I'm, coming
Yeah.
from yeah.
Yeah. And there's that level of comfort with another female sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
like you really know the emotional component of the hormonal struggles that come and how
Yeah.
you tend to like have this sort of cycle in your life, even though awareness and all of your inner work that you do even as we age, we still go, oh, that's why I reacted that way. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The closer we get to awareness in those moments, the more we are capable of catching ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Some things slip through, right?
Mm-hmm. They do always.
Yeah.
And I was just talking to a girl that works for me, and just before we came on, I had to do a little check-in with her. And it was kind of about that. It's like the judge and the victim, and you try and stay right in the middle. But when you start to do the work and really realize that those two components of your subconscious are wildly pursuing your attention all the time, it almost becomes comical. You're like, this is not my circus. Stop. I'm staying here. Stop. And there used to be, I can't remember the cartoon, some little cartoon, but the little kid would go, mom, mommy, mom. And so I had that as my ringtone for my son for the longest time. When he would call, be like, mom, mommy, mom. And that's how I always try to use, that's a metaphor I always use with people. I'm like, that's what it feels like. It's like, mom. Like, stop talking to me. Try to catch it, right? Because you do catch it, and then you start to laugh and be like, okay, I just overreacted. Because that one had a little power. Now I'm over here feeling like the victim because I overreacted, and it's like, oh my gosh, yeah.
It's so true.
It's
so true. And isn't that just a big piece of the human condition?
Totally. To be honest, I'm at a place now where I think it's the wildly fun. This is why I like to do this, right? Because it's wildly fun to try to master something called the subconscious that you literally have no access to in this kind of context, right? It's just operating back there. Yeah. It's on. I'm trying to fist fight mine all the time. Sometimes, like, come on. I feel like going on right there.
Oh, I went to battle this morning in my journal.
Yeah. Oh, it's a great place, isn't it? A journal to just let it out. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, it's so funny because I remember back in the day, I've been journaling most of my life. And so when I pull out my old journals, they're like, 1992.
Oh man, that'd be something.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. It's crazy to go back and read some of my stuff. But it's funny to me because back then, like I didn't write all the time. I didn't fill my journal. The only time I wrote was when I was in crisis. Like on crisis. So like I'll pull that year and it's like half the journal is full. But as I get older through the years, then the journals each get full and then there's multiple volumes.
Oh, wow.
Because I'm writing more outside of crisis than in crisis.
Mm.
And I have multiple journals for multiple things. I have now at this place in my life, in the morning, my morning coffee time is my spiritual time. And so I have a spirituality journal. That's where my prayers and all of those things go. And then I have an evening journal that I write in. That's a gratitude journal. And then I have my business journal. So I have these 3 different journals and they all have their own volumes based on how much energy I put in that year to that area, which is cool.
Stephanie, that's good. Thanks. I don't write because I feel like my brain chemistry is very quick. So my speed of thought far exceeds my ability to write. So, there's a pro and con to that. Like the pro would be like, slow it down, girl, and let's see what comes out. Right. But the con is like, I feel it's frustrating for me because I can't get out fast enough. But I really like that you have 3 different ones. I'm actually going to try that. I'm going to try to journal at least in one of those categories just to see like how that might play out. Cause I've never really been a big journaler, but I like that you have historical stuff to go look at. Cause how fascinating will that be for your family too?
Oh, it's fascinating. All right. They're going to submit.
Well, maybe once you're, on, you're like, you can read them then. Yeah.
truth is, I'm going to die. My kids are going to find these and they're going to submit them to a psychiatry research.
Yeah.
I love the rawness of you having this like very vast understanding of how quickly your brain works and processes things. Because oftentimes, so many people hear an idea or they hear a certain way that somebody does something and they're like, oh, I want to be like that. But that's not necessarily the way that they work or they operate in life.
Mm.
The reason journaling is a go-to for me is because when I was a kid, I didn't have anybody safe to talk to.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And so I'm the same way. And I actually, sometimes I will have to type because I type faster than I handwrite. So I have to be able to type as fast as I'm thinking things through. But for me, really, the key piece for journaling is to get through the emotional component so that I can see the realness of what's going on. And then I can see it on paper so that I can craft a solution.
Mm-hmm. That's, when I was a kid, my mom will tell the story and she thinks it's funny, but I mean, it really was, I guess, my form of journaling. And that if I got in trouble, for example, she'd send me to my room. Quiet time for Karen in the room. And I had a mirror that went on my lawn, the sliding closet doors, and I had the full length mirror. And she said that she would stand outside the door and crack up. She goes, if they had recording devices back then, I would have totally recorded you, because I would sit on the floor in front of my mirror and tell myself, because I was talking to me, how bad my life was. My mom and the thing and the dogs, and I'm not picking up the poop, and I'm doing it, and da, 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 and blah, 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 and I blah, 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 and I would cry, and I would have the whole experience. And then I probably forgot to do a little of this and then get up and walk away. I just would have got it. My mom's like, you just exhaust yourself. You'd be done talking. You will have talked it all out. And then I would open the door and go, are you ready to come out? And I'd be like, yep, no, it's fine. So I never, until you said that, I don't think I really thought about that. Is that I do that now as an adult all the time. I literally will stand in my bathroom sometimes and I'm just like, what?
I love that though.
Actually, sometimes, nobody knows this about me. I'm going to tell a secret. I do that on my own video on my phone. When I'm working something out or I'm frustrated sometimes or something's up, I will literally go outside and at first I used to laugh and think, do I have a fascination with watching myself on film? I'm trying to get better at live streaming or something. I don't even really care, but okay. But I started to realize that it's way for me to even watch myself. When you say something to yourself in the mirror, the energy comes right back at you. Mm-hmm. So I will go out and play something to myself and then I'll watch it, and whatever I'm feeling coming back, I'm like, It's almost like you're diagnosing somebody else, like you're watching, you can give a better food of thought back to it.
Yes. But also, like, let's look at that under mirror work, because how powerful is mirror work, and how powerful is it for you to have that interaction with yourself first in the mirror? And then if you've recorded that, like if you've done that, wow, talk about movement and quick movement through those things. Do you ever find that you get stuck sometimes?
Yeah. I just listen, I think I need to invent the therapy mirror, the bathroom mirror that has a recording device. You just record yourself, talk to yourself. You can watch yourself back and be like, what? You keep it. That's like your digital journal.
Yes, I love that.
That's a thing. I'm going to make that.
You need to.
I almost do. I feel like for those of us that need to talk it out, you don't have anybody to talk to, you can talk to yourself.
So as soon as you get it out there, I'm so making sure that my clients get one.
Oh my gosh. Wouldn't that be great?
Oh my goodness. I love it. What's the most important thing that you believe that you need to learn to live your most radiant life?
To learn. I think it's to not, I'm trying to plug my phone in. Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine.
I have a battery going. The most important thing you said?
Yeah, the most important thing at this point in your life that you still need to learn in order to live out your most radiant life.
Oh, Stephanie, it's probably to not hesitate on the hits.
That's interesting. Tell me more.
I think it's I feel guided a lot, and
Mhm.
I have great intuitive hits constantly on things. And I don't know if I second guess them for fun. It's not so much for validation. I don't think I need the validation. I don't really feel like that. Like, I'm not insecure about that kind of stuff, but I feel like there's a reason why I do hesitate. I
Mhm.
hesitate, and then it turns into procrastinate. And
Mhm.
then I'm on to the next thing. And then I'll be like, why did I honestly feel like God's up there like, oh my gosh, are we going around that mountain again? Like, are we doing that again? Okay, let's do it again. Go around again. Okay, we're back here again. And then I'm like, okay. And then I go around again. For example, I've wanted to do a challenge for a long time online. I haven't done it. And I have all the content. I have the whole thing. Why have I not done it? Am I afraid to do it? No, I'm not afraid to do it. It'll be crappy the first time I do it. Who cares? Like, it's my first time, fine. But why am I not doing it? It's like, I don't know. I guess I just second guess the things that I know or feel intuitively like I should be directing my attention to. And I'm not really sure why I do that.
Mm. That's interesting.
I know it. I often use the dojo as an excuse. God, I'm outing myself here big time. I use the dojo as an excuse because I'm really busy. That business is thriving. It's very busy and it's very demanding, and I can build things inside of it. And so I don't know, I think in my life, I just would like to learn. I think I would really like to learn to catch those tendencies quick and just keep
Mm.
going. I like taking risks. I like running fast. I like failing forward and failing fast and just keep going. I'm down for a good failure. I mean, I'm
learned
not
that about you right out of the gate too, which was
right.
awesome. I said I learned that about you
Yeah.
right out of the gate too, which was so
Yeah.
yeah, like
I like failing. Failing is not failing to me. It's just a lesson. It's know what not to do the next time.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I
So
remember when we got paired up back to peer coach, and that
yeah,
was so awesome. It
I
was
know.
so awesome. Like,
I was going to pull out my mantra that we made. I wanted to read it to you. I have it. What I'll probably do is I'll have to put it in Radiant Life. I'll just do it, and I'll
yes.
either type it or I'll take a picture or I'll go and read it. And it's in my storage unit. So I, tidied up all that little stuff and put it away. And I was like, oh man, I needed that today. I want to read that. I
Um,
should pull it out and see where I'm at.
that's mine.
Oh,
That's the one I made when we were working together. You ready? You
yeah.
ready for this?
Yeah.
I stand in my wholeness and radiance with love, confidence, acceptance, and peace. I trust in the continuity of my faith. I am whole, perfect, and complete.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Oh, it's so good, Stephanie. That's so rings true, doesn't it, for you?
Yeah. Yeah. And we did that work together, which was so fun.
That was fun.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
been so fun to watch your business grow too. You
Oh,
really make a great impact on them. I mean, come on, what a better life is there?
yeah. Yeah. I do love everything about my business, my work, my clients, I feel so full. I feel so blessed. I'm just full of gratitude. So
Yeah.
I had said something to Joshua when the pandemic was hit and I had to close my office in town and move back home.
Mhm.
And shift because Weston was home full time with school and everything was just like super chaos. And I had a few new clients lined up and all of them lost work and did not sign up for coaching with me. And there was just like this huge financial hit.
Yeah.
Everything happened all at once. And I looked at him and I was like, do I need to go get a job? Do I need to close the business? And he was like, don't you dare.
No.
Don't you dare. Your work in the world is so needed. I will not let you close the doors to your business. And I felt so like of course, I crumbled on the floor and cried. right? Like I just started bawling from fear, from gratitude, from frustration, all of it. But most importantly, because really Joshua is the first person in my life to have ever seen me completely and loved me completely.
I know.
So beautiful. I just,
Lucky you, lucky him.
yes. Yeah, I know. It's just 21 years of doing life with my best friend. So
Yeah, so good.
yeah.
Yeah. And it's true. You really do. Your service to the world is really meaningful. I mean, you think people, I'm obviously we run in some coaching circles. And so, you see a lot of people that will impact a lot of people and blah, blah. It's, to me, it's really just one, if it's one person,
Yeah.
it was already been one person. So I accomplished that. And then everything else is just a bonus for me. I just love it. You want to know what my real problem is? I really would just do it for free. I have a hard time even asking for money half the time, just because I don't know.
I can relate because I show up. I have been sitting around the campfire with a bunch of friends and family members, and somebody says something and I can't not like everywhere I go, grocery store, everywhere I go, Karen, everywhere that I go, I can't, and people will be like, oh yeah, you've coached me. I'm like, I did? When? What did we talk about? I just,
you don't even realize it. That's when
don't.
it's really a lifestyle. That Progressive commercial, the insurance commercial, they're on the beach and she's like, I can't. And then she gets up and runs over there. That's what reminds me of like what you're saying. It's like, I can't. I totally get it. I feel like, and sometimes I have to back myself up because you almost are like, I'm not sure, does that person want me to jump in? Like, yeah.
Right.
You're like in the crowd and you're like peeking your head around like, I have some ideas about that. I know. Yeah. Listen, I'm learning to be fairly compensated for the value trade. It's something that, I hold in very high regard, and I'm good with all of it, but I absolutely like to just serve too. So,
yep.
Yeah.
And it's really interesting because, back when I first really, I'd been coaching for so many years, but back when I first really officially put my business together and hung out my sign.
Yeah.
I was in that same boat. Like it was just very much like, how do I get compensated financially and equally adequately to do my work in the world? And because I felt so much guilt around that compensation. And it was very interesting because, oh man, aren't you supposed to just serve? Like if you have this like thing to give the world and make the world, aren't you supposed to just give it away? Right? Like that's very strong in my family's way of faith upbringing in me. And so I, was like, okay, how do I do that? How do I ask for compensation or accept and receive compensation for these things, but still serve? And it's all in the same boat, right? Because I can show up like yesterday. I did an entire workshop on forgiveness.
I saw that too late, but I saw that. Yeah.
All my best stuff. Hey, if you want to ever grab it, it's still up there for a week. So
okay.
Yeah, feel free to watch it on your own time, but yeah, it's up there for a week. So, it's like all my best stuff. Like I didn't hold anything back. There was no marketing, guru idea around it. It was just like, this is every month I have this theme that I'm going to serve around. I'm going to show up and I'm going to help who needs to be helped. And then if that comes to coaching or private coaching, group coaching, one of my courses, whatever, like that's the way that I show up in the world. That's the way that I give. And, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. It's interesting when we first became coaches too. I remember what I thought the value of an hour of my time was worth versus now is exponentially different.
Yeah.
And there are days when I do have, like you say, I have some guilt around it. I feel like, and then I think, what? No, I I always equate it back to the amount of money that I have put into my own personal development.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a lot. It's a lot. Right. And so I think, well, if you're going to hire like I have a coach, he's, worth every penny that I pay him, which isn't a penny, but it's because he also, right, he's ahead of me. He's at least a chapter ahead of me.
Yep.
And so I pay him to help me keep advancing. He goes first. I learn the lessons he's learned along the way we go. And so in that journey, I've really realized that it's okay. Even my pro bono work, I make them pay me $1.
Yep. I totally get that. I do the same thing in that capacity so that people understand, you got to have skin in the game. When you
Yeah.
said the amount you've invested in your own personal development work, I could probably fill a public library just with the publications I've bought alone, not including the courses,
I know it.
tens of thousands of dollars I've put into my own growth and inner work in the last 20 plus years.
If someone had said at the beginning of the journey, when I started to intentionally do personal development work for myself, keep track of all of that. Keep track of all those $27 everythings that you bought, or the 47s, or the this or that. Like it would be, and then that would be your certification. That's why I was saying, like, when I got certified as a coach, that to me was like a university master's. Like that was like a thing. And I've since learned that I didn't need it. I don't need it. I didn't need it then, and I don't need it now, but I regard the work because of all the nuggets and the people and nuggets of information, the people and everything. That journey was meant to happen. And I love that I did that. But how many times, right, of those things on and on and on and on and on and on. And wouldn't the list of credentials that you'd have be like that long? People like, what do you want to talk about? Because people go, well, you can't talk about everything. You can lead with, I'm going to help you become free in the thing. And then you get in and it's about the other thing. That's how it always goes, right? But if you were to say, I can help you with the thing, people are like, whatever, like you're not a generalist. Like you don't know all the things. And I'm like, I don't know. I got a lot of things in here and a lot of life experience.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, mine is probably, like I have a few college degrees under my belt.
Yeah.
The truth is that I don't use the degrees for what they were designed for,
right,
the piece of paper, but the things that I picked up along the way, the habits that I built, the systems that I understood, the experiences, the challenges, and the obstacles that I had to face in order to persevere. Those are all the things that I carry with me. It's the same with every course every book, every, relationships are the classroom of life. And I absolutely, that's the reason probably why, I showed up that first night of coaching class. I showed up with a specific idea in mind that I was going to have the final piece of paper to do what I've always been doing. And when I walk in the room, I'm like, ooh, I'm not here. Clearly, I'm not here for that. The tools, like in the peer coaching, I'd already been using a lot of those tools in different ways in coaching before, but I didn't know that. But what I walked away from was the things that I learned in the obstacles, in the perseverance, in the showing up, in the work with all of my peers. That's what my takeaway from that. And the personal development piece was more profound for me throughout that journey than the
he warned us.
I know.
He did, right? He's like, this actually isn't about you coaching, it's about you. And I was like, no, I'm good. Like, I'm good. I'm cleaned up, buttoned up, tight, in the box.
I know. I said the same thing.
I know it. That was a really insightful journey. And I've done it with another group on core coaching, and they're like, oh, she's already certified. I just went through the thing with the girls because I liked the group. And I picked up stuff in that journey too. I didn't need the certification. I didn't do it for that. I did it just because I wanted to learn some other perspectives. So I think it's really just about all the practice. And there's something else I want to just tell you, just came to my mind. So I just turned 55 and that sounds old. Like I'm working on my black belt. So I'm like, I'm going to be this old. And I'm like, so old. And my coach said to me, actually, have you ever thought, because I'm working with so many teens, he goes, have you ever thought of using the language level 55? Like all of a sudden, like you're level 55 instead of level 18. And so my son is 32. So when he starts, trying to teach me stuff, I'm like, buddy, you're level 32. I'm level 55. All of a sudden, I'm like smart and accomplished, right? Because you got to be something to get to level 55. So when the little 8 and 9-year-olds at the dojo, they'll say, I'm like, oh, you know what? You're level 8. I'm level 55. It's okay. We got a ways to go. You're going to learn a lot of things along this way. It has totally works for me. So I'm going to give you that nugget. You got to use that because you still have younger kids too. And they play video games. So I'm sure. So they know that language of level, it's instead of like, oh, she's old. She's 55. No, I'm level 55.
I love that. I'm so using that. Even with my adult kids.
I know, totally. They'll never reach your level is the point. You will always be levels ahead of them.
I love that. And the fact that there is some sort of video game reference is so relatable.
I know it.
I just love that. I'm so using that.
I know. I tell everybody that. Anybody that's in my age, listen, we're leveling up. I mean, I can't wait to be level 56. I mean, what's happening there?
Dude, that is awesome.
It totally shifts my mind around aging too. I feel like I'm leveling up. Because the language
part about aging. So like I've always felt older than my years, right?
Yeah.
So like I was like, I can't wait to get to 40. I can't wait to get to 40 because when I get to 40, right?
I'll feel like I fit.
Yes, which is not true because 40 did not feel like it fit the same.
Yeah.
But I did feel closer.
Mm-hmm.
So my birthday is right around the corner, right? It's coming up in a couple of weeks. And so I love this whole like level because I am going to walk around. I'm going to post all over social media.
Yeah.
I'm going to be like, listen here, people.
I'm leveling up. Yep.
This is me leveling up.
I know. I love it. I'm like, it was worth every penny I paid that guy.
Oh my gosh. That's awesome.
Right?
That's awesome.
And even now, because I start training for my black belt, which is a year-long, very demanding journey in July. I'm terrified, by the way. But anyway, when I start to say to parents or other people in the family over here at the school, I'm old to be doing that kind of physical work. There's some physical requirements that are extremely demanding. I don't know, 100 push-ups in 2 minutes. I'm like, that's probably not going to happen easy. And I always will say I'm old, and they're like, Karen, you're level 55. You got it. And I'm like, okay, yeah.
And
don't use it against me.
I love that though, because then it shifts your perspective. It shifts your focus. My son has a shirt. Weston has a shirt that says attitude is everything.
Oh yeah.
This morning, he had a really crappy attitude before we left the house for school. And I was like, attitude is everything. And he was like, you can't use that against me.
Yes, I can.
Watch me. Because the second I said it, you could see all the steam had come out of his balloon and he was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How fun is that?
It is. And I think that it's a reminder to me too, right? Because in those moments when I'm feeling like, because he was just really struggling with an article of clothing. And in that moment, like it really was insignificant, but he was feeling very stressed and overwhelmed, and he kept looking at the clock, and he was just like very angry, frustrated. Clearly he didn't sleep well, or he's got some other emotional component going on.
Yeah.
And that still happens to me. Those moments still happen to me too. So in that moment, like how crucial is that for me to remind myself, attitude is everything. It really is.
And you're like, stop talking to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
Well, we have a laugh, my team and I, because I learned, clearly I'm ADD. So I learned a long time ago that talking and moving are the two, most efficient ways to get energy out of your body. So I'm obviously talking a lot. And the mask, I can stand back there and have full conversations with myself and nobody even knows. And the guys are like, are you talking to yourself? I'm like solving every world problem behind this mask over here. Like, just stay over there. And they laugh because I had to get a mask that's come off my mouth a little bit, because otherwise you could see my lips just going the whole time. I'm just like, just talking the whole time. But I love the mask. I hate wearing a mask, but I like wearing the mask for that reason, because nobody can tell that I'm just like talking through every situation or whatever. I'm talking to myself all the time.
I can totally relate. I'm a car talker. I am totally a car
Oh,
talker.
totally.
So here's what I mean. Like, I'm driving along in the car and I'm like thinking ideas or replaying thoughts and conversations or whatever. And I'm driving along, not even paying attention to my kids in the back. And I'll be not realizing that I'm talking out loud. And they're like, what's that, Mom?
Like, I don't know. That's when you have to hit record. And you know how like the thing over here, I don't know if you have your, some people have that phone on the thing over there. And I will sometimes be driving. I just hit that record button and I just start talking and talking. I don't know. I'm fascinated to watch myself. I don't remember some of the things. Do you know what I mean? It comes and goes, but It's fascinating to go back and watch that and be like, okay.
I get some of my best ideas in my car talking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they say that driving is a great state of a meditative state, right? Because you're on autopilot.
Yes. And that's exactly how I feel. Like, there's always, even when I was younger, like when I first got my driver's license and things would be rough, I would set out and I love to drive at night. And of course, growing up in the Midwest, out in dairy country, it's dark out in the middle of nowhere, right? I'm the only person on the road and I'm out there on these, country roads and I'm just driving. And I still feel that way today. Like, when things are hard, when things are difficult, I got to get in the car and I have to just drive.
Oh, I love that.
Probably why I loved making the trip for the coaching weekends.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just like, I looked so forward to that. Like, it was like all these hours to just prepare and get in the mindset. And then I had a whole drive home, 6 hours to just like unwind from, like, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
So I love that. I love the whole, like, I'm totally going to start doing that. I'm just going to start recording myself in the car. I think that's a fantastic idea.
Yeah. When we first started, back when we graduated, I was thinking, do I get a little location? Because I think in my mind's eye, I had more of a therapy mind around, I'm going to do a little thing. I'm going to have the chair and the thing. And then I was like, no, I'm not. I was talking to my girlfriend. I'm like, I'm going to do car coaching. Like, I'm literally going to pick you up in the parking lot. We're just going to drive and you're going to talk and I'm going to coach you. So I did that a handful of times. Right. And there were people that I knew through people, like, they weren't complete strangers, because I'm not sure, like, maybe, I don't know, but it was fabulous. Because they didn't have the pressure of me even looking at them while they were processing through their emotions and things. They were looking straight ahead. I was looking straight ahead. Random glances over, and just talking, two people talking close enough in energy to feel the thing, but not in the absence of eye contact. I felt like a lot more came out and stuff. And I loved it. And I'd be like, all right, we got like 45 minutes. We're going to drive all of the thing. And then we're going to come back. And then, they would get out. And honestly, I liked that, because they would get out and I'd be like, okay. And then we would just go on. And I never really did continue doing that. But now that we're talking about it, I'm like, I probably need to pitch that again. Well, because it was COVID and stuff too, right? There's all that whole thing. But I kind of like that idea again. I feel like you're talking about that because the time in the car is so valuable.
Yeah.
I mean, just even alone.
Yeah. I would say the best conversations I've ever had with my sons, any of my kids, is in the car. And when they got their driver's license, that's what I missed.
Oh yes, driving
conversations with them.
Yeah.
We had the best talks, the most intimate, the most deep, the most real conversations in the car. And especially for teenage boys in those it was so crucial and so profound for our relationships. Like, our relationships were founded on those car conversations.
Yeah, because you had them without distraction. Me too, because my son went to private school, so I had to drive him every day, and it was a fair distance to drive him. And now that you're saying that, I remember feeling that way too. When he finally started driving, I was like, "I'll take you." He's like, "Mom, I got it."
I know.
And then that's when you raised me to be independent.
Yep.
I got it. I don't need you. I'm like,
Yeah.
yes, you do. He goes, well, you're my mom, but I don't need you. So I'm not going to call you every day. We don't have to work it out. The things, I'm good. And I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
shit, man, why do we do such good work?
Right. I tell people all the time, every job I have in this life is to work myself out of a job.
No, it's true.
So how do you integrate all parts of what being a woman means to you?
How do I integrate about all parts about what being a woman means to me? How do I integrate them? Well, I think for me, gratitude for feminine insight and energy is huge. And I'm just a warrior in there. That's really what that word comes up for me all the time, because that's who I am. And that's not very feminine, right? You would not assume that's feminine, I think. Maybe that might.
I guess for the general population, maybe, but I do.
Personally. Yeah. So I never associated the two. Like I grew up a tomboy. It's a thing. And I really shied away from a lot of things that were more feminine for me in nature, because I didn't identify in my core with that so much. And it wasn't about gender or what I was dressing or whatever. It was just more the way I showed up in the world. Like I worked in a very male dominated industry. I spent a lot of time with men, but and it's interesting that now I'm spending most of my time working with women, because I feel like I've really done the work for myself to allow myself to be feminine and powerful. And I really try to show up for myself that way. It doesn't, for me, integration is only about what's happening in here. Like I'm the only person that matters, which is shocking to people around me. They're like, but wait, what about? And I'm like, yeah, you come on the next tier, in the sense that my God is here, then Karen's here, then the rest of y'all fall here, because I have to be right. And so that, I don't know what that means about being a woman, other than there is a lot of power in femininity and feminine energy, I think. And because I'm so naturally, a large portion of my personality is dominated by what I would say is more high testosterone energy. That integration has required work for me. And so I feel as whole as I ever have been right now. And I feel like it's because I've allowed both of those voices to be something at the time in which they need to be something. And I've learned to use them. And I use the word manipulate a lot, but I don't mean it in a malicious way. I use them to manipulate situations to the advantage of everyone concerned, depending upon, what's going on.
Right.
People get tripped up on that word manipulate sometimes, but do you get it, right?
Yeah, I get it, because there's so much negative connotation around the word manipulate, because people use the word manipulation in a negative way for so long.
Yeah.
But it's no different than me manipulating my
molding or
yes, creating, shaping, moving things around. When I think about manipulation of, so here comes my teacher mind in me.
Yeah.
So manipulatives in math are actual physical objects that you can physically manipulate, move around in order to create an equation, right? Whether it's blocks or little plastic bears, or they're called manipulatives. And so that's where my understanding of manipulative and manipulate and manipulation comes from. So when I think about it, I think about just the orchestration of it all.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Because I usually end up having to defend the word. Right. People are like, what? So you're manipulating people? And I'm like, yeah, in theory, I am. I'm manipulating the situation to the advantage of all concerned.
Well, yeah, the greater good for all.
Right.
Totally.
And I think that and maybe I misunderstood the question. I don't know. Am I on target with your question? Because for me, that's just integrating, integrating all of those things in what it means to be a woman is really just allowing all those voices to have space inside there. Yeah.
You're right on target, because everybody comes to their identification in different ways. And for those of us who are kind of moving through this unique time in the world right now as women, those of us who identify as the feminine, we are sort of being challenged in allowing both the feminine and the masculine to have opportunity in our world. Like I think about, I too grew up very tomboyish. Like I did like the color pink, but you would have never heard me say it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just, I really did enjoy those things, but it didn't fit with where I was at in my life at the time. But listen, I was a great shot with the BB gun. I'm just saying.
That's right. Like, I don't think, like, for me, femininity has nothing to do with exterior, anything out here. Like, I wear black every day. I mean, or I wear a gi every day, but if I have a choice, I just wear it. I mean, because this is irrelevant to me. It's just something I have to do so that I'm acceptable on the world. I have something on, right? But it's more about like my ability to connect, I think, emotionally, on an emotional level to people, or really feel from a feminine view, have empathy for where people are, because where they are is where they are, you know?
I love the feminine energy, because that is really what, like, we have the masculine, we have the feminine, but they're energies, right? They're not per se identifiers, right?
Yeah.
You can say, this is how I feel today. Today I pulled out the elements, the plaid and the wood,
Love it.
And so that's where I felt today. And yesterday I went total girl mode, and all the pretty colors and all the pretty things and all the bling bling. I think that it really is like wherever your energy is moving you to, whether it's the softer or the more rugged. And I think understanding that there is strength in all of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And freedom to be any of it.
Yes. And that just because where you are right in this moment is where you're at in this moment doesn't necessarily mean you have to be there in the next one.
I don't even want to be there in the next one. I mean, I really don't. How boring is that? Like, I can't stand it.
Yeah. No.
It's got to be. My colleague this morning that I was talking to, she lost a child. So pretty painful experience, but she's an overcomer. That's the short story. And it's like realizing that you create crisis because you're an overcomer naturally. So if there's no crisis, you're super uncomfortable because there's nothing to overcome. There's nothing painful to push past, push beyond, do, achieve, like, can you just sit in like, you've created this amazing life in a space, and are you able to just sit there? And I'm like, gosh, as I heard it coming out of my mouth, it's one of those things where you're like, wow, great. Like he's saying it to me too. And I'm like, do I do that? Like, you know what I mean?
Yep. I totally do know what you mean. And I will tell you that, like, I moved through that probably 5 years ago. That's where I was at. Like, I was coming out of that creating of crisis in my life when I started going to our coaching certification classes, and just having that overcomer mentality, but not knowing what to do about it, not knowing how to utilize that and repurpose it in the world. Oftentimes when I'm working with my clients with deep trauma, I'm currently working with, I have 2 male clients right now that I'm working with, and I have a male who was raped, and we're kind of working through some of that. And, he was really struggling with the idea that this trauma, that he was like, I have to carry this, and I was like, yeah, you're going to live with this piece of stuff that's happened to you.
Yeah.
You get to decide how
Yes.
it lives in your world.
Yeah.
And he's like, how did you? And I was like, listen, this is what I've done with mine. This is what I've done with my childhood of trauma. I've repurposed it. I took it and I did the work for myself. And then I used that as the platform to show relatability and service and heart and overcoming and being present and spreading love in the world and all those things that you see me as today. I've repurposed it. That's all I've done with it. So
good.
yeah. And it's the same thing. Like every challenge you come up against, as you're doing your inner work, all those obstacles, you have the opportunity. You can repurpose it, or you can drag it around on your freight train of baggage.
Or you can identify with the truth that you are an overcomer. So you create difficult things that are meaningful and productive to overcome, so that you feel comfortable in the overcoming process, but that what you're overcoming is something just difficult that you perceived difficult to do,
Yes, I love that. There's so many layers of it, right?
Yeah.
It's like an
Yeah.
onion.
I love all of it. I love it. That's why on my social media, I think I have, like, it says I'm a human enthusiast. I love people, all the human things.
Yes.
Right. I was driving, I live in the mountains now. Right. And so I'm driving on the 990 and I'm watching all these cars coming the other way. And I turned it down and I said, you realize that every one of those cars is a story. And someone had asked me earlier that day, if you could do anything in life, what would it be? And I said, oh my gosh, I want a microphone and I want to just pick a city block. I want a block. And I just want to go from house to house to house. I want to do a show. And then that block, we'll wrap that up. And then let's go to the next block. And no show will be the same. Yeah. But I was giving him the car analogy of that. I go, that's the thing. If you were stuck in traffic and they were like, yeah, you're going to be stuck. You're a big earthquake. You're stuck here for like 2 weeks. Okay, cool. I'm going car to car. Let's jump in. Let's find out. Like, I want to know their story. And yeah.
Yes. That's part of the reason why I think that I do what I do. I'm the same way. I love the conversations and I love the getting to know people and I love to hear the journey. And I just want to sit in that and celebrate that, like the wholeness of being a human.
When I was a kid, I was always told I asked way too many questions and I was nosy. And I'm like, all of a sudden, one day I was like, hold on a second. I identify with that statement. I'm nosy and I ask a lot of questions, but it's from a place of sincere intent. Like, I really want to know the answer. And people are like, stop asking so many questions. I'm like, no, but let me just ask.
Yes. I'm that way at the grocery store, even like a couple of weeks ago, I'm in the produce aisle and I see somebody I haven't seen in forever. And I'm like, how are you? And they're like, oh, fine. I'm like, no, really, how are you? Like, I really want to know. Like, don't give me the service answer. I'll stay here for the next 20 minutes. I'm good.
Yep. Totally.
Yeah. And I think that comes off as intimidating to people sometimes.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. And people get all guarded and freaked out all the time. And I have to be careful. Well, that's where I've learned that I have to have a meaningful awareness around the energy that's coming back at me. Because you really don't, I do have to pick up on that sometimes with people. We have about 300 students. So there's 300 families that are all different in viewpoint and all the things, right? And sometimes I roll up to those moms, I sit down next to them and I start like, I'm in the thing with them. And you can tell, like, they're just like, whoa, like too much, like just not, or I don't want to share. Where some people will just share all the things about their kids, and then other people are like, they don't want to tell you, they don't want to talk about, Yeah.
Have you ever been told you were too much?
Oh, my whole life I was too much. I was adopted at birth. Mm-hmm. And so my birth mother and I are like exactly like, but my adopted mom, God love her. I love her. She's the most beautiful human being on the planet, but she picked up a tornado and thought she was picking up something soft and cuddly. Seriously, she had no idea. And she does not have a personality that resonates with that kind of thing, you know, or that kind of energy and pace of movement. And she used to tell me that all the time growing up. You're just too much. Can you just go over there? Like, just go away. You're just too much. And she's well-intentioned. She's being serious.
Right.
Right. And for a long time, I had real resentment to her about that, feeling like, how dare you say that to me? But I am a lot.
Yeah.
And I do have to mitigate it sometimes on purpose. And I'm comfortable doing that when I choose that I'm going to do that to help somebody else that's at a total, like I can't roll in on some people that are very different energy levels, soft. Even when I have clients, sometimes, you know, they'll come to me and which I'm always like, why are you bringing me clients that are, you know, like, I feel like he's like, well, there's a challenge. Enjoy that, you know, work through that. Be patient and softer. And so it helps me grow, you know, when I'm around people. But yeah, I'm told all the time I'm too much. Even now, my team, even now, you know, Dan and I are engaged now. So we, the fiance, you know, he'll sometimes be like, you're just too much. This is too much. And I'm still like going 100 miles an hour. And it's like, it does start to hurt my feelings for a second, but then I have to realize I am a lot.
Yeah. I had a friend recently tell me, you know, we've been friends for probably 5 or 6 years now. And she said, you know, the first time I met you, I was like, wow, she's a lot. And I'd ask myself, do I want that in my life?
Oh my gosh, I've heard that too. I know.
And then
she must have said yes.
Yeah, she did. Because she was like, I had to really like ask myself and really like introspect. Do I want that in my life? And then I was like, fuck yeah, I do.
Yeah, because I'll miss it when it's gone. I'm always like, you'll miss me when I'm gone. It's true. Like
so
it seems
true.
like a lot, but yeah.
It's so true. It's so true. But also I think that, I mean, you're right. You do have to kind of like gauge that. You have to kind of look at the energy around you and decide like, okay, am I gauging myself? Right? Because as we do our inner work, we start to realize that we are responsible for how we show up too. And even though we're still being in the fullness of ourselves. And so, you know, I have to do this with my kids far more than anybody else.
Yeah.
Because they are young adults, most of them. And they are trying to figure out how much of mom they still need, how much of mom they still want. You know, like getting a phone call from Italy to say,
yeah,
can you handle this situation? Handle what situation? Or a text message at 5:30 in the morning. Are you awake enough to talk? Okay, I can try to be. You know, it's like, or getting, you know, just, there's just so much that I have to remember sometimes with them that they do need some small talk. And I don't do small talk well. It's just not who I am. I really struggle with the small talk.
Yeah. You get in there. Boom.
That's right.
Going in.
Yeah. Right to the meat of it, right to the heart of it. Just like we do here. Right to the heart.
Don't you think though that now that we're having this conversation, I still do sometimes struggle with the fact that I am navigating someone else's personality, and I am working on some things in some work that I'm doing around for other people, right? Not so much on myself, but of course that I'm working on around that, because are you allowed to be fully expressed when it's uncomfortable for somebody else? Are you? And are there times, we're saying right now that we recognize that we have to bring it down a notch sometimes to make someone else comfortable?
Yeah. Does
that go against what I'm trying to teach? I mean, sometimes I think about that and I'm like, where's the medium, and where do you have a personal responsibility to be a certain way to make somebody else comfortable? Or are you allowed to show up and allow your people to show up? I don't have the answer to that yet.
Well, it's both really, because here's my measurement. This is what I've had to learn with my kids. And this is where I get this measurement from, is that in order for them to hear what I'm saying, in order for what I'm saying to land, am I gauging enough so that they can hear what I'm saying.
Yeah.
By showing up in a way that their heart is open to hear me.
Are you able to manipulate your own presentation yes,
Mm-hmm.
to the extent that it's good for all concerned? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. We're able to do that.
Yeah.
But that's good. I like that, because that takes away anything that starts to creep in around. Yeah, you kind of need, because you could hear it like even a second ago. There it comes in, and I'm like, what? No, I don't. It is meaningful to meet people where they need to be sometimes, I think. But I also think in the business we're in, that's why it's really important on the front end of relationships to be really honest about the fit.
Yep, absolutely. And I say that right. I mean, like when people do a discovery call with me, or, when they go through their intake forms or whatever, I am so transparent about how intrusive those intake questions feel, because they need to understand, like, if we're going to do this work, this is where we're going. Like, you said you wanted to do 12 weeks, 3-month intensive with me. And if we're going to make that productive, like, we're going to go straight to the heart of it. So this is who I am. So if that's not a good fit for you, then you need to own that. And that
Stephanie, you have to wonder how many people went through that, filled that out, and then sat there and thought, oh man, I don't know.
I will tell you, because I attract clients who really do, like, they're like, shit, did I just say that? They are comfortable enough to blurt it out, and then they go, oh crap.
Yeah.
Yes, I have had a handful of clients or more on their first session after they filled out those intakes go,
and what?
Well, I don't think I really meant that. I was like, oh, you meant it all right.
Mine's, I don't know how you do yours, but mine's on a Google Drive. And I gotta tell you, more than once, like right before the first session, I see the words changing as I'm reading the document. And I'm like, what, they're changing it? You can't change it after you write it. And then when I get into session with them and they're like, well, I just wanted to, like they're dumbing it down or not, it's not as forceful as it was like before. And I'm just like, no. So now I know when they tell me it's done, I go save a copy of it, like to my desktop, so that when I get to when it's time for us to have our first session, I pull them out, and if they're not like parallel, that's where we start.
I love that,
right? Because they change it.
Mine are actually, it's a long form attached to my calendar.
Oh,
they don't have permissions to go.
Oh, they don't. Yes. I should think about changing that. I use the Drive just because I like the interactive, because I take notes on the things, but that's, yeah, that really caught me off guard the first time I saw it. I thought, oh my gosh, they're chickening out. They want to say all these things, but now I want to back off of that, because it's like, you're freaking out when you're like, yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Oh my gosh.
That's awesome.
Oh my gosh, this has been so good. Thank you for getting on with me.
Of course.
It's so good to see you. And
I know, it's so good to see you. I don't know why we don't talk more. We just really need to.
I know, we really do. Really just, I know, I was telling Sonia yesterday, I was like, it's so funny. I don't know why I think there's so much irony in the world anymore, because every time I say, oh, this would feel really good. So about a week ago, I said, man, it's been feeling a little lonely on the business end of things. I sort of really need to reconnect with some fellow coaches and some of my former classmates. And then yesterday morning, I get a message from Sonia.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm just like, I was like, oh, it's so funny. But then I'm like, you know better, Stephanie.
Yeah. You drew that right on in.
Yes, you asked for it. You said you were willing, and the universe orchestrated it for you. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Fantastic. Yeah. I know. And it's so nice to connect just on that level, the journey that we've been through, the journey that we're on.
It's great. You what?
I love spending time with you.
Oh, I know, me too. This is good. We don't have to have them live and recorded every time, but we can do this again.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Karen. I'm just so grateful that you said yes to this opportunity and that I got to spend some gorgeous time with you. And I just wish you all the best as you continue to move forward in your endeavors, as you start your black belt journey. So excited for you. I know it's going to be challenging.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, and everyone who got on and watched us live, thank you so much. If you have any questions, comments, feedback, be sure to post them in the comment section below the video in the sisterhood group. Karen, my wonderful friend.
Thank you.
Mwah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Steph. I'll see you.
Bye.